Cavalier, and sorry if my eyes are looking a little bit square right now, but they've been glued to the telly all week, searching for TV's very best bits. And tonight, frisky retiree on Food Lover's Guide to Australia.
So I enjoy giving it to Lynn.
Man plays half a piano on Antiques Roadshow. And blokes still getting the hang of vacuuming on the week the women went.
Being on their own.
Yeah. Welcome to TV Burp. Tonight with Getaway, and I know this is hard to believe, but this week Katrina Roundtree found herself somewhere on a beach.
When planning a family holiday, there are two words that make Mum and Dad's eyes light up.
Yes, and I can think of two other things that'll make Dad's eyes light up. This week, Kat visited Samoa, where she sampled some of the local produce.
What did you call it? Mini-mini. Mini-mini.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Mini-mini.
Do-do-do-do.
Mini-mini.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Yes. Hey, guess what? As a special treat tonight, I thought I'd bring along my collection of old marbles. Oh, yes. Oh, I've got my cat's eyes and my Aggies. Hang on a second. I'm missing two tombolas. I wonder where they got to.
So, any of you gals are praying type?
I love Supernatural, but I have to say, it's not to everyone's taste. Oh, dear. This was Home and Away, where newlyweds Belle and Aidan are back from their one-episode honeymoon, and Belle decided to organise a party. Hooray! I love Summer Bay parties. Belle's already making exciting plans.
Get her to get everyone together. I'll come over tomorrow. Can you do that for me?
Good fun. But let's not forget Ross and Auntie Morag. They're so stressed that this week they suddenly forgot how to speak.
Not easy seeing the person you love get weaker, knowing...
Meanwhile, Miles was getting his kicks by using the least amount of table possible.
Kirsty, next time, just let us know.
Oh, wow, that's got to be a record. Hey, I saw the most amazing thing on TV this week. A pregnant man with a hairy belly button.
After losing most of his onions to disease.
Then I realised it was a giant onion, as seen on the Lifestyle Channel show Half Ton Veg. It's a show about giant pumpkins.
A pumpkin can weigh in at over half a ton.
Giant cabbages.
Ian Stott is starting to cut his veg.
And a giant beetroot.
Joe's wife kindly wasn't impatient for this passion.
No, that's his wife. My mistake. Sorry. So, we've met giant veg grower Joe, who fancied himself as a little bit of a poet.
It's got to be Pete. I mean, he's the one to beat.
I might try a bit of that poetry myself. Then there was Ian. He was fun. He loved giant cabbages so much, he dressed up like one.
Known as the king of cabbages.
From cabbage farmers to lonely farmers, and 7 of them are looking for love on The Farmer Wants a Wife. They're fit, they're strong, they're available, so why are they still single? Farmer Brad gave us a little clue as to why perhaps he hasn't done so well with the ladies.
They've got no idea. You tell them stuff, they don't listen.
What a charmer. And when Farmer Scott is on his way to meet the single ladies, he flags another potentially embarrassing complication.
I suppose there's a chance that my wife could be there.
Yeah. Looks like it's bigamist Farmer wants yet another wife. Meanwhile, Farmer Brad left no doubt as to what he was looking for in a lady.
He's someone that's got a bit of, I call it whoop-a-tang.
A bit of whoop-tang. Works every time. OK, so let's see how the farmers go choosing their ladies. Teddy's into it. It's like I said, Whoop-Tang works every time. Which brings us to our TV highlight of the week.
Today has been brilliant. I loved my haircut.
We got more TV Burp after the break. To TV Burp. Hey, I've heard that they're going to make a celebrity MasterChef, and they've got a great idea for a brand new segment.
One bite, you die.
It's going to be a short series. Over on Cable's How To channel, there's a show all about the latest cool gadgets called I Want That. And it's chock full of stuff that I want. And you know what I really want? A portable hot tub in a box.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, look who's here.
It's called Spa To Go, a motorized inflatable hot tub that sets up in about 10 minutes. Filling the spa with water takes just 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm ready to spa right now.
Have to wait before you can jump in, though. Heating it up takes about 15 hours.
Oh, well. Now, you know, one of my favourite moments of TV is from the classic series Fawlty Towers. This one. So, it was great to see Basil Fawlty channeled by a crazed old man in this week's All Saints.
News for you!
Yeah! Yeah, then the old coot was admitted to hospital, where he found one of the nurses frightfully unattractive.
Everyone's laughing at you, but we won't tolerate you.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Another thing I like about All Saints is the way they introduce characters as if they're on sale of the century. And our first contestant is...
Betty White, 62. Suspected stroke with right side weakness. Her BP's 155 on 95 and SATs are holding at 94%.
Welcome, Betty. $20 starting money, hands on buzzers, and good luck. But I have to say, this week's episode did seem a little bit light on for action to me. It was just a little bit ho-hum, to the point where even the actors were getting a little bit restless.
Can you let me know if or when something happens?
Of course.
Yeah, that'd be great. Now, have you heard about the new diet where the only thing you're allowed to eat is air?
Where do we start? Okay, they think about food, cars, football. What do those things have in common?
Delish. It's Neighbours, and this week Toadie was in the mood for sitting down and relaxing with a good book for a couple of hours. Or a couple of seconds, either way. Of course, we're all still looking for the rat that killed Bridget. Declan thought Steph was the culprit, so he got in high-flying lawyer Tim Collins on the case. Tim had no shame, no morals, and it seemed no office.
Evening, all. Tim, is no review here?
Oh, don't worry, I'm here on business, not pleasure.
Yeah, of course, conducting business in a cafe makes client confidentiality rather difficult.
Well, I just thought I could pay you if I won.
No, I don't work that way.
Plenty of lawyers do.
No. But none of them will help you sue Steph. I can guarantee that.
Why not?
I told you he would do you over.
Excuse me, this is a private conversation.
Hey, Tim, you want privacy? Maybe you should think about getting your own office. But oh no, Tim's not interested.
Good.
But it's going to take time. So right now, we have to get together our ammo and get ready for battle.
Yeah, how could you do this?
Oh, this is a private conversation, Chad.
Hey, Tim, get an office. That was a private conversation in Zeke's own kitchen. Oh, I wonder who's at the door.
Declan, some papers for you to sign. Thought I'd come around and deliver them myself. Personal touch.
Ah, the personal touch, or as I like to call it, I work out of my car. Antiques Roadshow, which is a real favourite of mine. It's a show where crappy old stuff turns out to be expensive crappy old stuff. And this week, I was very happy to find out... Well, hang on. Excuse me a moment. Hey, what's going on? I know you. You're Tim Collins, that dodgy lawyer from Neighbours.
Do you mind we're having a private conversation here, Tim?
Sorry, Tim. Just keep it down. Just keep it down. OK, where was I? Oh, yes, Antiques Roadshow. And this week, some guy brought his entire collection of nudie magazines.
Well, I've got 500 jugs.
Total value, £1. Another guy was thrilled to discover that he actually owned a real collector's item, but those bystanders, they weren't so impressed.
Wonderful.
It made my day too. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, who cares? And how about those know-it-all antiques experts? They think they're so superior with all their questions.
With this lovely cotton twist stem. Do you know how they made the cotton twist?
No.
Did you know it was 18th century?
No.
Do you know how to tell whether it's 18th century or 19th century?
No.
Listen, mate, the only question she wants answered is how much can I get for it at cash converters? I also noticed on the Roadshow the blossoming of a bromance.
I think this is a wonderful, romantic and sexy room.
Oh, yeah. In fact, the whole bromance thing was all over the telly this week. Like in the drama series, Rescue Special Ops. Have you ever noticed the way the guys wave goodbye to each other?
Dino, your aircraft's a Beechcraft Bonanza. 750 kilos.
Don't tell me they're not sharing a toothbrush. And last Sunday on Aussie Idol, Dicko and Brian only had eyes for each other.
It's a new dawn. It's a new day.
Isn't that cute? Which brings us to another creepy facial expression from CSI Miami's Horatio Caine. And this week, it's the suspicious head raise paired with double creepy eye plus icky smirk.
He's my financial advisor. He handled all my investments.
Well, you should know that he was murdered this morning along with his wife.
Oh, stick around. We'll see you after the break. To TV Burp. Farmer really wants a wife on Global Village.
A few small families.
Harlem Globetrotters save Colette Mann's life on Guide to the Good Life.
Now I can actually say I have been carried across a raging river by 15 black men.
And Ocean backs one out on Surf Patrol.
Tom, we advise our beach is closed temporarily as we are completely unable to move this log.
Ooh. Next, a question every surf lifesaver has to face at one time or another.
What happens when there's too many people to rescue?
They save the hot girls first. No-brainer. This was Surf Patrol, and there was a deadly snake on the loose. Enter snake catcher Tony Harrison, who had some amazing facts about the eastern brown snake, which he wanted to tell us as fast as he could.
The eastern brown is the second most venomous snake in the world and probably what I consider to be the most dangerous because it's got a very short fuse. One drop of venom can kill 16 healthy adults. One bite could potentially take out 100 people.
Thanks very much, Tony. So, how does Tony catch his snake?
I usually go to the outside extremity of where they've seen it, dance my feet around inside the bush. That usually makes the snake dart out into the open. That way it's on a silver platter for me.
Snakes on silver platters? I'll believe that when I see it. As if Tony... And what is this? Oh. Just a can of Whoop-Tang. That was lucky. Woo. Now, car parks in our CBDs are becoming almost impossible to find. So it's no surprise to see in this week's City Homicide how a driver responds when he hears about some available spaces in the city. Okay. But be warned, they're clamping down pretty hard on people who park in reserved spaces. Yeah. And hey, I actually found a mistake in this week's episode. See if you can spot it. A hospital with a bed available? I don't think so. But the impressive thing about the Homicide Squad is their knowledge of the criminal world. They really know their villains, and they know exactly what they'll be doing at any given time.
Wherever he is, he's pulling his pants.
Yep. That is top-quality surveillance work. To the Biggest Loser USA, and this week was some kind of crazy vending machine challenge. Basically, the losers had to punch a selection into the vending machine, and they'd randomly receive either calories or cash.
Vending machines and I go way back.
and they've always been a friend of mine.
Yeah, I know what he means. My best friend in high school was a vending machine. I called him Vendo. Actually, all this vending machine action has made me feel a little bit peckish. Pardon me a moment. Vendo? Is that you? We'll always have Paris. Hey, here's some good news. 80s Aussie soap opera Sons and Daughters is back on the telly at 12:30 in the morning. My memory is a bit hazy, but I seem to remember the show having a lot more passion.
They were selling them cheap at one of those roadside places.
You old romantic. I got you the cheapest flowers I could find, Beryl. I could have got them cheaper, but the cemetery was closed. Another thing I noticed was the guy who really needed to iron the front of his trousers.
Paul said he's sorry. Well, good on
Yeah, maybe you could lower them about a foot too. Then Beryl showed off a dance move very popular in the 80s called the turnaround.
What do you think?
I don't know. Let's see what the judges think.
I'm so disappointed.
Which brings us to our medical procedure of the week.
A lemon stuffed with gunpowder and guinea pepper is insinuated into the anus and changed 2 or 3 times a day until the patient is judged to be out of danger.
We'll see you after the break. And welcome back to TV Burp. I caught a bit of Channel 10's cooking show Ready Steady Cook the other day, and I didn't realise this, but host Peter Everett is actually colourblind.
Audience, do hold those cards up now. Thank you, everybody. Oh, it's looking very red, Jay.
Cavskin's a winner.
Yeah, that Peter, he's a very dangerous driver. Over on SBS, I found the excellent doco-series Voyages of Discovery. And this week's episode was all about a French expedition to South America.
A team of men loaded their ship, the Portefe, with state-of-the-art scientific instruments.
Not to mention state-of-the-art wigs. When they landed in Peru, the explorers were shocked at the appalling quality of the local dim sims. On to Time Team now, the ABC show about archaeologists digging in the dirt for old stuff. And they're quite a smooth bunch, those archaeologists. Have you ever heard one of their pickup lines?
That's a nice bit of masonry there, Faye.
Oh, I'm yours. But what's a randy archaeologist's idea of the perfect mate?
A naked blue man sitting on a pole holding a pig's bladder. It's a balloon.
In other words, a drunken smurf. Time Team is hosted by Tony Robinson, who himself is something of an expert in these matters.
I don't understand what's going on.
Or not. And you know how cats like to mark their territory? Well, it turns out archaeologists do the same thing.
This is the east end of the church, and what I've sprayed on the ground is the middle of the wall.
Ugh. Not to worry, though. Just like those swimming pools where the water changes colour when someone does a sneaky wee, the same applies here to the lawn.
It comes down here and then turns and goes back.
Everybody off the lawn. But I have noticed that Time Team can be very uncomplimentary about the women who lived hundreds of years ago.
Until now, we've mainly found rubble and stone, but this slag might be our first hint of what the villagers were actually doing in medieval London.
It's a bit rough, I don't agree with that. I tell you where it's all happening, on Deal or No Deal, where Andrew O'Keefe, after hosting more than 1,000 shows, finally went mad.
The angels are with us. The others have arrived.
Fair enough. Andrew's great. So multi-talented. He's a singer, a dancer, a comedian, even a puppeteer. So lifelike. Okay, here's a conundrum. You're a contestant on Deal and you win a lot of money, but you already have everything you could ever want. Is there anything you could possibly buy next?
So you paid for your honeymoon, you paid for your wedding.
Yep.
What next?
Europe.
Europe. Going cheap thanks to the global financial crisis. But owning a whole continent isn't as crazy as it sounds. Andrew O'Keefe offered us a subtle reminder about the last person who wanted Europe all to himself. And he's here to take us out tonight. Would you please welcome Deal or No Deals, Andrew O'Keefe.
Nicht mehr. Streichhold und Benzinkanister hielten sich für schlaue Leute. Wie den schönen fette Entbeuter riefen Kriege voll den Markt. Man, wer hätte das gedacht, dass es einmal so wird kommt. On and on das Luftballon.